So our next presenter is Tatia. She's a geospatial analyst from Irani Geographics. She supports GIS projects for the city of Santa Clara. She holds a PhD in geology and a GIS certificate. She blends scientific insight with practical expertise in ArcGIS and remote sensing. A key project, InfoMap 4.0, was built with Vertiges Studio. So this is where it gets fun. These are actual customers' cases that, we're going to share with you today. And hopefully you get some value out of that and learn a little bit more about how different organizations are using Vertiges Studio to streamline access to spatial data, enable staff to visualize assets, automate workflow, and to make data-driven decisions that improve city operations. And with that, Tatiana, I'll let you move forward with your presentation.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, everyone, and thank you to the organizers for inviting me to present at Vertiges Day. My name is Tatiana Livshets, and I'm a GIS analyst at Irani Geographics. Today, I'd like to introduce InfoMap 4.0, an application we built for the city of Santa Clara to help manage and explore spatial data more efficiently and solve real, everyday challenges through smart GIS design. After a short introduction about what InfoMap is and what it means for the city, I'll briefly cover the application's design and structure. Then I'll talk about Vertiges Studio Workflow Designer and how workflows extend InfoMap's functionality. But most of my presentation will focus on InfoMap's distinctive features, tools that were created to solve real problems for city staff. And I'll finish with a quick look at our future plans and a few acknowledgements. InfoMap 4.0 is the City of Santa Clara's central GIS hub, designed for internal users across departments, from planning to public works to public safety. It provides quick access to accurate, trusted information for parcel, addresses, zoning, and much more. InfoMap is continuously refined through staff feedback, meaning it evolves with city needs. And as an example, I made some updates and redeployed the application no later than yesterday, and I'm going to do it today as well. It's an essential citywide tool that supports smarter decisions, reduces redundancy, and improves service delivery. The web map is the core component of InfoMap. It allows us to add and configure new layers, control attribute displays, and symbology. So where does data that powers InfoMap come from? The data is stored in the Enterprise Geodatabase, published as map services on the city's internal portal, and consumed in the web map using portal's map viewer. InfoMap integrates 4 Vertiges Studio products: web, workflow, reporting, and printing, each solving different needs within the application. Compared to GeoCortex, which was our previous provider, we got much more flexibility with design, custom workflows, and overall functionality. It allows us to provide the city of Santa Clara with a beautiful designed, functional web map solutions. When creating InfoMap, our primary objective was to design a product that is intuitive and visually clear. InfoMap is accessible by design, meaning that critical information is communicated through cartography alone. We implemented the 3-click rule, ensuring most tasks can be completed in 3 steps or fewer. Another key principle is to visualize relationships. It's easy to see which parcels connect to which addresses, and which addresses include sub-addresses. And finally, InfoMap isn't just functional, it's also beautiful. For example, labels follow street curvature and align naturally. That makes the map easy to read and navigate. So what makes InfoMap unique? First, it's the ability to reuse the same tools across different applications. InfoMap is an internal product for city employees alone, and it shares several components with its public-facing sister product called Map Santa Clara. With Vertiges products, we have been able to design once and reuse everywhere. Cartographic quality and consistency can be a challenge to implement across a municipality. InfoMap solved this problem by implementing standard templates to ensure data integrity and a familiar, reliable user experience. An attractive and functional design encourages adoption across departments. And last but not least, cartography communicates spatial contexts even before the user interacts with the map. Workflows built with Virtual Studio Workflow expand InfoMap capability immensely, adding advanced tools that solve real problems and make daily operations more efficient. Workflows automate tasks, guide users through common processes, and enable interactive functionality throughout the application. They could be found everywhere in the InfoMap. So starting from I want to menu and right side buttons, for example, this screenshot tool, and in the search window that allows users to search for parcels, addresses, and streets. As a result, InfoMap becomes an efficient, user-focused system that streamlines and accelerates daily work for city staff. What I like most about Workflow Designer is its flexibility. It provides a powerful tool, but what is more important, it has almost limitless capacity for customization. For example, adding to workflows operations and commands or custom JavaScript expressions. All workflows were created to solve specific city tasks and in the most efficient way possible. After everything I've shared about InfoMap's design, structure, and what it means for the city, I would like to show you some of its most distinctive features. All of these were created in response to specific client requests and are designed to solve real day-to-day problems for city staff. I'll start by demonstrating one of the new features introduced in InfoMap 4.0 compared to the previous version, which was built with GeoCortex software. I'm going to talk about layer presets. We saw the potential right from the beginning. Layer presets allows us to create pre-configured maps for different groups of InfoMap users, like departments or divisions, each focused on the layers most relevant to their work. Yeah, let's start the demonstration. For example, we have a separate preset for building division, which includes parcel. Stop for a minute. It has parcel information about all parcels, active parcels, retired parcels, and same for addresses. This building division preset was recently updated with the face of curve data. So previously, city staff used Google Earth to get that information. It was long and not very convenient process, but now face of curve values could be pulled in less than a minute. Another preset is for census data, as you can see here. Then we have a separate preset for streets department that for flood zones, of course, then streets department. Yeah, okay, so Parks and Rec, of course, with all the city managed parcels. So users always can go to layers pane and see what layers are active in certain presets. They can switch additional layers on, or they can zoom to layer extent to see all the features at once. And of course, we have other presets, including, finally, it's a street data with sidewalks and ramps locations. So yeah, it could be zoomed in and out. Also, we have a map with all city maintained trees. So you can see in a minute how many of them the city of Santa Clara has. So it also could be zoomed in and out. And yeah, if we go to layer extent, we can see that there are a lot of trees in the city. And of course, we have a special preset for zoning data. Yeah, it's the last one. It shows the zoning designation for parcels within the city. And when needed, users can always switch back to the default configuration. So layer presets allows quick and easy access to the data that specific departments use without the need to constantly turn layers on and off one by one or use any other sources of information. Okay, so the next feature I would like to talk about is imagery slider. We have a collection of aerial imagery layers taken from 1968 to 2024. City staff use these images to see how specific areas have changed over time, what was built, removed, or developed. Before, they had to turn multiple imagery layers on and off manually, which was time-consuming and sometimes confusing. With the imagery slider, all those layers are combined into a single, easy-to-use tool. It lets users move smoothly through time and perform historical research in just a few minutes. So for the demonstration purposes, we chose an area where NVIDIA buildings are located in Santa Clara. So yeah, this is two major NVIDIA buildings. And to see how the imagery slider works, we just need to go to layers and turn off imagery 2024 layer. I think something, sorry, I think something is wrong with my connection. Yeah, so now we are turning off the imagery layer, and you can see that we are now in 1968. So nothing is here except gardens and fields. And these brownish polygons are building footprints, current building footprints, just to show you what's in this area today. So yeah, if we go to the web map, base map button, where the image slider is, we can start traveling to the present time. So with just toggling that button, we can see how the area changes with time. So the buildings appeared on the map. Yeah, and we can go further and see how it changes over time. So yeah, nothing, some buildings instead of NVIDIA buildings, but not actual buildings. Yeah, and around 2015, we can see the development of the first building. It's here. And then if we go further, we will be able to see when the second building was developed. Yeah, so let's speed up a little bit the video. So yeah, here both buildings are present and they look exactly like they are today. Yeah, so here we have both NVIDIA buildings. Yeah. So it's a very convenient tool to do historical research for city staff. The next feature I'm going to show you is search by address and sub-address workflow. It provides comprehensive information about an address and its related parcels all in one place. So the workflow itself is located in I want to menu, and it takes an address as input. So yeah, here we can type in an address, and immediately some of the options will be provided by the application, and we can choose. So let's choose the first one. Then the workflow will find the address and related parcel. So you can see everything in one place. So the information could be seen for site addresses, for parcels. Through external link functionality, users can instantly open Google Street View for any address in the city. Then they can easily switch between addresses and parcel results in the result pane. So when they need to see the data for parcel, they can go back and then go straight to parcel information. For parcels, the workflow displays detailed information, including direct links to zoning, general plan, and specific plan documents. There are also an external link to assessor's parcel maps, which contain valuable historical information. So it's also very useful functionality for the city staff. One of my favorite parts of this workflow is the buffer and identify tool. So yeah, it's here in the feature layer actions. So yeah, it quickly shows what surrounds a selected parcel or addresses. For example, nearby streets. Yeah, we can choose and see what streets are located near. Then we can switch to land parcels. And then, so this is information about land parcels. And after it, we can see what site addresses surrounds the selected parcel. So yeah, let me go back. So search by subaddress. So the search by subaddress addition is another great example of how InfoMap can be tailored directly to a client's needs. Initially, we developed a basic search workflow that used an address as input. But during the feedback session with city staff, the idea of also searching by subaddresses came up. In response, we enhanced the workflow to let users choose between addresses or subaddresses whenever both exist. This update is a perfect example of how InfoMap evolves directly based on user input. So the next feature I'd like to tell you about is a create custom radius workflow. So city staff use this tool almost every day to generate mailing lists for properties within a certain distance from a selected location. For example, when there is a proposed development, they can quickly notify nearby property owners and residents. The workflow accepts different geometry types, points, polylines, or polygon. I'll show you how it works with polygon geometry, since it's the most popular for city staff. So users can draw a polygon right on the map. And then they will need to provide a radius value. So in this case, we have 1,000 feet, and previously we have problems when the radius value exceeded 500 or 800. It depends on the number of addresses within the radius. So we have a limitation on the radius value. So it happened because underlying query-related records activity couldn't handle more than 500 records at once. So to solve this problem, we added a custom block in the workflow and using evaluate expression activity, and for each activity, we were able to parse these parcel IDs into batches, like for 100 IDs in each. And then workflow started to work for any radius value within the city. So here the console is turned on to see what's going on behind the workflow, how it really works. So now it started to process the first 100 parcel IDs to search for related site addresses. So yeah, we'll speed up a little bit because there will be 6 related query activities. So 6 portions of that IDs. And after this block ends, the workflow will work actually very fast. Okay, so let's move a little bit on. Yeah, so so it's still, let's go speed it up a little bit. Yeah, I think it's the last portion of the parcel IDs that was processed, and after it finishes, everything will go really fast. Yeah, just want to see how, in comparison to related query activities, the rest of the workflow works. Yeah, so now you can see that after the first part is ended, it really works quickly. So what this workflow actually does, it produces two CSV files. So yeah, now it's finished. So it produces two CSV files that can be downloaded to the user's desktops. First CSV files contain the list of all addresses within the radius, and the second CSV file contains information about all owners of the properties within the radius. So yeah, you can see the files were downloaded. Two files. The name consists of the radius and the date. So for the users. So yeah, you can see the mailing list. It contains data about IPN, property address. Yeah, and the second list, as I said, it's a list of owners. The workflow is also capable of producing a PDF map, and we are using a report activity for this. So it also produces the PDF map that could be used separately. So it's basically a map with a selected geometry and radius. So yeah, let me see. So yeah, this is how it looks like, and it could be used separately. Another feature is a customized printing. City staff had roadblocks generating printable, visually appealing maps with several selected features. To solve this, we developed a custom workflow. It allows users to create a PDF map showing multiple parcels selected with the Identify tool, perfect for producing zoning maps with specific parcels highlighted. We streamline the process by integrating the workflow directly into Identify tool results, making it simple and efficient to use. This is another great example of InfoMap's flexibility and ability to generate consistent, beautiful maps, all without city employees needing a design background. The next feature will be a conflict of interest tools. So let me pause for a second. So GIS tools are only helpful when they are solving real-world problems, and InfoMap does just that. The application helps to complete routine city tasks efficiently and quickly. A good example of InfoMap driving efficiency and reducing workload is the conflict of interest tools. These tools, as the name suggests, mitigates conflicts of interest regarding city council members and members of the planning commission and properties they own in Santa Clara. It takes an address as input and checks if there are any properties belonging to members of these groups within 1,000 feet radius of a given address. If there is a property, the CSV file will be generated with all of the relevant details. So a little bit about our plans for the future. So Vertex software has given us the flexibility to continue improving InfoMap over time to best suit the needs of city employees. There are always new challenges employees face or new data sets they would like to display. One enhancement we see for the future is seamless integration with the city's existing permitting system, and this will allow city staff to automatically retrieve permits for selected parcels. We would also like to expand more upon Vertex 3D capabilities, adding full tree, building, and infrastructure visualization. This could provide benefits when paired with the city's tree inventory, for example, to provide information about shade coverage in parks in the summertime. And in the end, InfoMap is a product that we feel very privileged to have developed in collaboration with the city of Santa Clara. It's tangible proof of how GIS can be made accessible, functional, and solve challenges city employees face on a daily basis. None of this would have been possible without GIS and the suite of products that have allowed us to develop this highly customizable yet intuitive platform for the city of Santa Clara. So I would like to mention two of the constant sources of information, which are GIS showcases webinars. So we are always trying to participate in them, either online or see the recorded videos. And the second source of information is the GIS community. There are a lot of people with ideas, and people from there are all ready to help. So, and thank you, City of Santa Clara, for our shared partnership. Thank you, everyone, for your attention.
That's a great presentation. Thank you so much. I do have a question for you. You've been a user, or the city's been a user for quite a while, of Studio and GeoCortex.
Oh, yes. So the InfoMap 4.0 was created about 2 years ago. So since then, the city staff is using the application. And before this, we have used GeoCortex to produce previous versions of InfoMap.
And can maybe spend a few minutes on how the transition from GeoCortex to Studio was for the end users. I know there's a lot of new feature functions, and it's a lot faster perhaps, but what was the feel from the actual city staff? Have you had any interactions with them?
Yes, of course. So before we started, we deployed the final product, we had multiple sessions with various departments within the city to get their feedback and to notify them about the coming changes. And we have we presented several times the new design of the future application. So yeah, I guess we did a great job to prepare the city for this transition. And also within the city, we have an additional training program. So there are training classes about InfoMap as well. So yeah, we did a lot of things to prepare the city for to this transition.
Are there any other lessons learned through this process that you can share with the community beyond what you've already shared?
Lessons about the transition.
About the transition, yes. Any tips or tricks that you think may be of value to people that are on the phone or on this webinar right now, and they're about to go into reporting or about to go into one of the various products, and any tips or tricks there?
Yeah, so I would say pay attention to the web map. So web map is a core component, and it should be developed separately. And if you won't see the data in the application if you don't put it in web map. So yeah, web map is a very important component of the new product, and it's not actually a tip, but I like Vertige Studio more than GeoCortex. I think it provides. If you are experienced user with GeoCortex, it would be easier. It would be easy for you to switch to Vertige Studio.
Okay, excellent. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Can hear you. Yeah, your video is frozen, Peter. But we do have one more question in the chat if we have time there.
Yep.
Okay. What has been the biggest hurdle and complaint from your users with the transition from GeoCortex to Vertige? Hopefully no complaints, but if there was any hurdles or complaints from your users with the transition?
I cannot think about anything, but as I said, we did a really great job to prepare the customers for that transition. So I cannot think about anything. Yeah. So training classes, presentations in advance to prepare end users for the transitions. We have a group, external group for the city employees. They can put their any comments about InfoMap, how it works, what needs to be corrected, any ideas for the improvement. So yeah, we are in constant connection with our city clients.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.